worried about Till, bro. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm reading every message on here.
Till, I love that fight, man. I think the dude is talented. He's young. He's hungry. He stepped up to the plate when he fought Cowboy. So I got nothing but respect for that dude. Performances before that, I was like, yeah, the kid's good. But when he had his toughest fight, he came, he showed up, he did what he had to do. I would love nothing more than fight Till. Just May 27th is not going to work for me. If it's any mid-June and up, whenever you want it, Till, I'm there, man. I got nothing but respect for you, but I'm coming home with that W, my brother. I ain't losing to no British dude, man.
Back to the daily grind, and y'all know we gotta talk about this. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Yes! Fuck yeah, full time family. Jorge Masvidal turned down the Darren Till fight, and I cannot be more happy. You might be thinking, what the fuck? And let me explain why. Darren Till and Jorge Masvidal are both not only two of my favorite fighters, but as well as two of my favorite people in the UFC. Outside of the octagon, inside the octagon, whatever you want to say, I'm talking about the personality and their fighting style. You add both of those together and you get two fighters that I do not want to see lose. Jorge Masvidal, my motherfucking dog. If you don't know much about Jorge Masvidal, you're probably pretty casual, so let me catch you up. Jorge Masvidal came all the way back from the backyard to the bright lights. He went from the backyard with Kimbo, whenever Kimbo was doing his thug dizzle on YouTube back when we were in high school and shit, and they had the backyard fights before a lot of us even paid attention to the UFC, and Kimbo was doing his thug dizzle. Jorge Masvidal came from way back in the Kimbo street fights. He was one of the dudes back then fighting bigger guys like that, which makes perfect sense for his career today, as he's a natural lightweight that's now fighting at welterweight. Jorge Masvidal used to get robbed so much in his career via split decision or whatever. He felt like, hey, I'm not gonna keep cutting down all this weight and missing my holidays and fucking eating nothing if I'm gonna keep getting robbed. So I'm going up to welterweight. I'm a good enough fighter to beat some of these welterweights, even though they got the size advantage, and I get to eat anything I fucking want. So now that's where Jorge Masvidal's at in his career. He's still a top 5, top 10 welterweight, and that's just because he's such a fucking talented fighter. But if there was a 165-pound division, or if Adelaide Bird wasn't a judge, and I'm just saying her name because it's funny, but for whatever reason, man, Jorge Masvidal coming up through the scene before the UFC, he was fighting the best of the best, you know, the Paul Daly's of the worlds and stuff like that, before he even got in the UFC, around the world, high-level guys, and he still had a very impressive record. This is one of the people that fight for a paycheck. They're not here picking the record to make it pretty. They're fighting whoever signs on the dotted line. That's Jorge Masvidal. So now he moved to the UFC. He lost to Ali Quinta, another case where he felt like he got robbed. If you were watching that fight, you probably felt like Jorge Masvidal won that fight. Ali Quinta got his hand raised. He went in at the octagon like, hey, you guys shouldn't be booing me. Fuck you and your boos, or something like that. You know, but a lot of people felt like Jorge Masvidal won that fight. And after that fight at lightweight, Jorge Masvidal moved up to welterweight. And it's like, okay, fuck it, man. I'm not missing no more holidays, nothing. I'm not missing no meals. I'm not missing no holidays. Let's fight at 170. And he's had some success up there. He knocked out Donald Cerrone, I believe, what was it, twice, right? In the same fight. Kind of like whenever Brian Ortega submitted Cub Swanson at the very end of the first round. He had the submission in, but the bell rang. That's how it was, but via knockout from Masvidal Cowboy. He knocked Cowboy out at the very end of the first round, so the round was over. Cowboy got to go back, recover, come back out, and Masvidal knocked him out again in the second round. So both of these guys kind of really bursted onto the mainstream fans' eyes, like when they fought Cowboy. Darren Till's most recent fight versus Donald Cowboy Cerrone. He knocked him out in the first round, and now everybody's like, oh my God, Darren Till's the next Jesus Christ in the MMA. That's very well true. He's a very, very big welterweight. He's talking about fighting at light heavyweight, but he's making it to welterweight, so he just feels like he can run over all these guys like a fucking Mack truck. And he's gave us no real reason to doubt that, other than when he fought Nicholas Dalby. He won the first 2 rounds, I felt like, but he got his shoulder hurt. You know, he said he just dislocated his shoulder, lost the 3rd round. But it is what it is. Other than that, Darren Till is 16-0. That fight was a split or a draw. Now there's been talks of who is Darren Till's next opponent. Is it gonna be Wonder Boy, one of the best strikers in the welterweight division? Is it gonna be Jorge Masvidal, one of the best fighters in the motherfucking UFC as far as I'm concerned? Or is it gonna be Robbie Lawler? Or is it gonna be Kamaru Usman? Or is it gonna be Colby Covington? I mean, Darren Till has really said, hey, I'm fucking down to fight anybody, anywhere, any one of you, anytime. But the thing is, the UFC has plans for Darren Till. Now we're starting to see some of those plans, it looks like. The UFC has an event in Liverpool that they just moved. This is how big the UFC is on Darren Till. They moved UFC Dublin. You know where Dublin is, right? Conor McGregor. Whenever you hear Dublin, you think Conor McGregor, unless you're from there. But they were going to have UFC Dublin. They were talking about one of Conor McGregor's teammates versus Darren Till in the main event of UFC Dublin. They said, you know what? Scratch that. We're going to take this to Darren Till's hometown. We're changing the whole UFC Dublin event, take it into UFC Liverpool, and Darren Till's going to be in the main event, and now we need an opponent. You know, if we were going to do it at Dublin, his opponent might have had to be Nelson. But now it can be Wonder Boy, it can be Gunnar Nelson, it can be Robbie Lawler, and it's looking like it won't be Jorge Masvidal, thankfully for me, because I don't want to see either one of these guys lose. And as much as I think Darren Till will probably run over all of the welterweights at this point in time, I could for one just be a prisoner of the moment, and for two, Masvidal is one of those motherfuckers that might be able to come through and boom boom get out the way and knock you down. So I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see Darren Till run over Masvidal like a Mack truck, and I don't want to see Masvidal fucking knock out Darren Till. I don't want to see either one of these guys knock each other out. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, in a perfect world, I would like to see Jorge Masvidal being able to fight at fucking lightweight. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Maybe we'll get a 165 division. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even mad at Masvidal. Like, do your thug dizzle, bro. Of course, that's exactly what he should do. I'm not going to keep missing all these fucking meals if I'm going to keep getting robbed. So I'm going up. Now, I think Masvidal could be a lightweight champion as far as if in a perfect world, you know what I'm saying? If there were no Adelaide Birds, if there was no fucking weird judges that didn't know what they were watching, I still don't understand that, but that's another topic for another day. But you get the point, man. Masvidal, you seen in the beginning of the video, he said, yeah, you know, May 27th is not going to work for me. Anytime mid-June or anything on. Now, this is where we're going to get real. This is going to be for the real niggas. If you want, you can cut the video off right now. This is for everybody that understands what's really going on right here, but you can't say it because you got to be politically correct. So if you're just here for the Masvidal Till, cut the video off. We got to get into this. All right, this is from, this is just between me and, the Masvidal fans, because I'm one of us. Yo, Masvidal, yo, I see what you're doing, dog. I don't want no fucking smoke May 27th either. We all know Darren Till's not fighting anywhere but May 27th. Nowhere. It's Liverpool. It's the main event. So if you can't fight May 27th, you're not fighting Darren Till. So whenever Masvidal says, yo, I can't fight May 27th, I'm down like June 9th. I mean, shit, we could even do May 28th. No, he didn't say May 28th, but he's just like, I can't do that Liverpool date. Any other day, I'm down to fight you, but Liverpool, we're going to have to reschedule. And we, well, a lot of us know they're not about to reschedule Liverpool, and they're definitely Darren Till. So Darren Till has to fight May 27th. Has to. Main event of Liverpool. So now, if you're not trying to fight Darren Till because he's a fucking light heavyweight fighting at welterweight, and you're a former lightweight fighting at welterweight, check this out. Masvidal used to fight at 155. Darren Till's talking about fighting at 205. That's like a 50 fucking pound weight advantage. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about the scale of where Masvidal used to fight and where Darren Till's talking about fighting. So, as Masvidal, yeah, I wouldn't be wanting to fight to 27th either. Now, you got to be careful because these fighters are fighters and they wouldn't duck anybody and they're not scared of anybody. And you got to make sure you preface everything with that. All I'm saying is, Masvidal, yo, that's my fucking dude. For some reason, I'm glad you can't fight on May 27th, but I will say if Masvidal can't fight on May 27th, he's not going to be fighting Darren Till because that's the date for Liverpool. There's no other day for Darren Till to be fighting. So anyone who cannot fight on May 27th will not be fighting Darren Till. And thankfully for us, Jorge Masvidal's schedule is full. Fucking thank the Lord Masvidal can't fight on the 27th because I don't want to see either one of these guys lose, and Darren Till's going to have the size advantage, the youth advantage, but Masvidal probably has the fighter advantage because he's got that fucking, it is what it is, man. These are two of my favorite fighters. All right, real niggas out, man. You guys get what I'm saying. I'm just saying, Good. It's Masvidal. It's good for us fight fans that don't want to see this fight, that Masvidal can't fight on the 27th. Whew, because that's where Darren Till's going to be fighting. So that leaves us with Wonderboy and Robbie Lawler for Darren Till's two most likely opponents. I'm guessing Wonderboy. We're still waiting on Wonderboy. What's going on with his hand injury? That's kind of why Darren Till versus Wonderboy hasn't already happened. So hopefully we'll see from Wonderboy soon. The UFC has said that we will have an announcement for Darren Till's opponent in the coming week or so. So stay updated, stay locked. I'll tell you who Darren Till's going to be fighting. But until then, it will not be Jorge Masvidal because he can't make the Liverpool date. Whew. But with that being said, it is what it is. I'm going to play some more from Jorge Masvidal that didn't have to do with Darren Till, but it's also from that saved live stream. So let the full-time family know what you think in the comments.
Khabib versus Tony, who wins?
Ooh, that's a good one. 5 rounds, right?
Yeah, 5 rounds.
Man, if you're asking me for betting purposes, I got to look at the lines and see who's the dog that has a chance. That's the only way I would bet on it. I think Khabib's style should be able to beat Tony, though. I could see Tony hurting him on the feet and maybe finishing him, but more than likely I see Khabib just taking him down, being able to control him right him out. I don't think Tony fights a takedown too hard either. He doesn't mind being off his back, throwing elbows and submissions. That's not good for judging, though. You know, you're going to lose it if you're on your back. So I'm leaning towards Khabib on that one.
Nice.
Great fight, though. I'm going to be there live for that one.
Nice. What about, they're asking how does Joanna look this camp?
Joanna looks amazing, like always. I'm betting the house on Joanna. I think Thug is a beast. She's insanely talented as well. But I got my money on Joanna.
Saying in DC or Stipe?
Ooh, what a fight, man. I'm so excited about that one. I don't know if... the weight is obviously a factor, but I don't know if Stipe could wrestle at that level that Cormier brings, you know. And is Cormier going to get tired keeping up that pace? There's so many questions for me on that fight. Betting-wise, I'll probably stay away from that one because I'm unsure of what's going to happen. You know, I know Cormier is a much better wrestler, but he's given up, I don't know exactly how many pounds, but it's a good amount, right? Like 30 pounds or something it looks like he's given up. That taxes your body, especially with Cormier's style, where he's going to be getting into the clinch, taking him down, keeping him down. That taxes. So I won't be surprised if Stipe pulls it off later, like in the 4th and 5th round, is able to hurt Cormier bad, you know?
Would you fight McGregor back out? Would you fight McGregor at 155 pounds in Ireland?
That does not matter. Well, I'll fight him in his backyard. I don't give a fuck. In his actual house where he has his little pool and his playground for the kids, I'll fight him there. It doesn't matter.
And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.